This is a presentation on the Urban Government Center in Louisville, Kentucky. It is located, bounded by the following streets: Barrett Avenue, Breckenridge Street, and Vine Street. This is the timeline of the Urban Government Center redevelopment process. In 2016, the Urban Government Center was vacated by city agencies. In 2017, Metro government issued a preservation report on how the buildings could be repurposed. In 2018, a request for proposal was issued for redevelopment. There were 3 developers that responded. A preferred developer was selected. In 2019, that preferred developer decided not to move forward with the project. In 2020, Metro government issued another RFP with civic goals defined. 2 developers responded. In 2021, after one developer was unable to reach agreement with the city, a second developer, Upper Paristown Preservation Trust, or UPPT, was selected. In 2022, UPPT began to change its 2020 RFP proposal. In 2024, Metro Council approved funding for UPPT's development process proposal. In the 2020 request for proposal guidelines, there were certain civic goals that were to be achieved by this redevelopment. A mixed-use development compatible with the surrounding neighborhoods was included as a civic goal. A treatment plan for the old Baptist Hospital building. An attractive landscaped amenity area for the neighborhoods was to be provided. And support from the various affected neighborhoods was also to be part of this project. As noted, in 2020, after the RFP was submitted, there were 2 developers that proposed. After the first developer was unable to reach agreement in 2021, UPPT was selected at the end of 2021 to move forward with their project. However, within this 2020 RFP, there were certain legal procedures that were contained within it that governed how the development must be implemented. Any changes to the development proposal was to be followed certain approval process. This was UPPT's original 2020 RFP submittal. This now is what UPPT is proposing in 2024. Here is a graphic that compares 2020 UPPT proposal on the left, and on the right is UPPT's 2024 proposal. So how does UPPT's 2024 proposal stack up to the 2020 RFP? As to the mixed-use development that must be compatible with the surrounding neighborhoods, it is our interpretation that it is not compatible with the surrounding neighborhood. As to the treatment plan for the old Baptist Hospital building, it demolishes the hospital building as well as most of the other buildings on the site. There is no landscaped amenity in the 2024 proposal that was one of the civic goals in 2020. And as to support from the various affected neighborhoods, in the original 2020 RFP, there was to be a project advisory group composed of residents of the 5 nearby surrounding neighborhoods. However, 4 of these 5 neighborhoods have since been removed and have been replaced with organizations that are actually part of the UPPT project. More specifically, there are several major changes from the 2020 proposal by UPPT. This is UPPT's 2020 proposal that saved the original hospital building. And in their 2024 proposal, they demolish the original hospital structure. In the 2020 proposal by UPPT, they proposed saving the open green space. They called it the town green. In fact, this was an Olmsted-designed landscape. The Olmsted firm designed many of Louisville's public parks, as well as this landscape in front of the original hospital building. In the 2024 UPPT proposal, instead of the Olmsted designed landscape, they are building a 6-story massive parking garage. What options are there to implement the redevelopment of UGC per the 2020 RFP? UPPT can actually build its 2020 proposal now. It met all the minimum guidelines contained in that 2020 RFP. In fact, if UPPT had moved forward with this project in 2021 when they were originally selected, this project would be completed now and open. Or UPPT can revise its 2024 proposal to meet the 2020 RFP guidelines. Or the city on its own can begin the process of remediation and demoing some of the modern additions of the former hospital, and they can actually begin the process now to redevelop this site. Or if UPPT does not want to change its 2024 proposal, then the city could go back to the second 2020 developer to see if they are still interested and ready to proceed. Or the city could also initiate just another RFP. Or the city could just outright sell the property with just a few provisions, such as repurposing part of the original hospital and provide the Olmsted Park in the center. Instead of paying millions of dollars to a private developer, the city could actually acquire millions through this sale. What actions can be taken to ensure the city and it implements the UGC redevelopment per the guidelines in the 2020 RFP? A lawsuit could seek to enforce the 2020 RFP legal guide rails. And a landmark petition can seek to protect the historic properties on this site, the Olmsted landscape, the original 1924 hospital and the historic patient wings, and the historic nursing school building. Additional considerations. Groups that are seeking implementation of the 2020 RFP civic goals include the Louisville Historical League, the Neighborhood Planning and Preservation Group, the German Paristown Neighborhood Organization, and hundreds, if not thousands, of residents who submitted their concerns to Metro Council since 2020. Since the 2020 RFP, the Kentucky legislature has approved millions of dollars in tax incentives for renovation of historic properties such as the hospital building. And the hazardous materials within this original building must first be remediated before any demolition or renovation proceeds. Thus, prior to any demolition or any renovation, the hazardous materials must first be remediated. They cannot be demolished and spread dust and debris throughout the surrounding neighborhoods. For more information, if you'd like more information on the Urban Government Center development, you can email the Louisville Historical League or the Neighborhood Planning and Preservation Groups at these emails. Or if you'd like to donate to this effort, you can send a check payable to the Louisville Historical League at P.O. Box 6061, Louisville, Kentucky 40206, or scan this QR code. Thank you for listening to the status of the Urban Government Center in Louisville, Kentucky.